Morning folks, how we doing? It's a beautiful Wednesday morning here, October the 1st, 2025. I'm still on this beautiful week I'm having in the tablelands of New South Wales. Got another bushwalk on today with a community group just up the road here. I'm in Peel, which is just north of Bathurst. And I'm really lucky to have a sort of extended family member who has a property here, just in Peel with some beautiful grassy box woodland on it and some cabins. And it's a really nice place to be able to hang out just for a couple of nights. Just about 15 k's north of Bathurst. It's a beautiful little location, and today's bushwalk is in Peel. So really looking forward to it. The property's got a lot of natural bushland on it, and you know there's been some gardening done and things like that, but there's some beautiful, you know, remnant grassy box woodland here, and all the ground layer through here is in pretty good intact condition in a lot of cases, and a lot of things pop up just through the natural regeneration. And I've just seen this one, and it might just be past its peak flowering, might just be getting past its glory days of maybe a week or two ago, but some of the flower heads at the end are still in full cry. This is a beautiful Acacia spectabilis, or the Mudgee Wattle. Really beautiful bipinnate. It's up to about 4 metres tall. It doesn't tend to get a lot bigger than that. They're sort of saying anywhere from 1 to 4 metres. Spectabilis, which does mean sort of very showy. It's a New South Wales, Queensland species, and you sort of have to get to about the Bathurst area in New South Wales to start to see it. And then it goes out towards Grenfell, it goes up to Dubbo, and it sort of goes north from there, or a bit northeast from Dubbo, up there to the sort of west of Armidale, Tamworth. You don't really get it east of the Tamworth area. There has been naturalisations in some parts, I think including Western Australia and Victoria. So it has naturalised, and it might have naturalised outside its New South Wales range as well. But the central tablelands, Western Slopes, that's the main place where you pick it up. So yeah, punching up there west of Tamworth, and then it goes into Queensland. And in Queensland, it's sort of going up the tablelands, I think Toowoomba area, up to around, it gets close to Rockhampton, I think. And then it's also going out in a band to the west where I think it stops around Mitchell. And I think I saw another locality called Morven in Queensland. It sort of stops around there. So a very strong sort of New South Wales, Queensland species, but I think there's naturalised records in Western Australia, and I think Victoria as well. It's a commonly planted wattle. It's another one that's easily cultivated, commonly planted. And when you look at this result, you can see why. It's just, it's really gorgeous. You've got these really strong bluey green bipinnate leaves. So it's a bipinnate, but it's doing its bipinnate leaves in a sort of shorter fashion. I guess if we're going to link, it's sort of reminding me of terminalis a bit, Acacia terminalis, with the size of its leaves. But the leaflets are sort of a different dimension and shape, and they're very blue, very bluey green. This species is also very similar to another one which occurs further north, which is Acacia polybotria. And one of the differences I've seen, or the main difference, is the lack of jugary glands on this one and the presence of jugary glands on polybotria. Polybotria I've seen in the Pilliga scrub further north, which looks very, very similar to this one here. Incredibly similar. It's a very blue bipinnate one as well. Spectabilis, a botanical name, it just means very showy, very attractive. And I think that word spectabilis, it sort of links to words like spectacle. So something putting on a really attractive show. So the bipinnate leaves, they're not overly long. I might just get a couple to demonstrate. They're not overly long. You can have about up to 6 pairs of pinnae, I think. So you're going to have a leaf about maybe 10, 15 centimetres long along the rachis. They do say there can be a gland at the tip of the petiole, so like a basal gland there at the bottom. And I have seen it. I've seen it several times now, and I've got it here. Oh, I'm going to have to get my finger under it. Yeah, there it is. So there's a gland. They're not saying it's a jugary gland. They're saying it's one gland at the tip of the petiole or the apex of the petiole, maybe just below the first pairs of pinnae. I don't know if I would just call that a basal jugary gland or one jugary gland at the base, but the wattle web is sort of saying it's a gland at the tip of the petiole or the apex of the petiole. So maybe it works out to be the same thing. I'm not sure. However, if we go up the rachis, there's no jugary glands. There's no jugary glands as we come up. And you can possibly sometimes have a jugary gland at the tip of the base there of the apical pinnae. So the last two pinnae or the last pair of pinnae at the top, you can have a jugary gland. I'm yet to see it though. I can't see it. I've had a good look on about 5 leaves now, and I haven't seen a gland up there. Oh, that might be one there, maybe. Is that the formation of one? Doesn't look like it. It does say rarely. It does say that rarely there can be a gland just at the top there. And usually there's a gland at the, again, the tip of the petiole. Just for a bit of representation, I'll have a look at this one as well. It would help to get those basal pinnae out of the way. So anyway, a gland's there. We saw it on the last leaf anyway, but just look for that gland there at the base. Just remember Acacia polybotria if you're further north. If you're around the Pilliga scrub, that's meant to have jugary glands all the way along. I have photographed polybotria. I haven't made a video on it, but I have photographed it, but I've never taken the time to check out the glands at all. So just reading the descriptions, what I'm getting is anything from 7 to 45 globular heads in a single unit. So, and in this case, they're describing them as either racemes or panicles. They're saying they can put out these beautiful panicle-like inflorescences, and they're certainly doing that here. But you can get anything from 7 to 45 heads in a raceme. And on New South Wales Flora, at least, it's saying, these can be up to 21 centimetres long. 21, I mean, yeah, I'd just say 20 to 25 again, but they can be up to 21 centimetres long. So you can have up to 45 heads on a spray, which does make them really beautiful. And each globular head can have, I think it said 12 to 20 flowers, something like that. 12 to 20. So it's a bit on the lower count, considering some get up to 30, 40, 50. It's a bit on the lower side, but 12 to 20 flowers in the globular head. But it's beautiful how it's got really long sprays, just really long sprays that are going well beyond the foliage in this case. We've seen a lot of wattles where the heads, they seem to sort of stay nestled within the foliage, but you can see here they're well and truly coming out beyond. So that just makes it a really beautiful wattle. I don't think I'm going to be able to get any in bud because this is well and truly beyond the prime flowering. I'd say a week ago, this would have been just beautiful in its prime, would have been about a week ago. But it's just fading a little bit now at the start of October. The flower colour, it's a really deep yellow. So again, the spectrum, I'd say it's in the middle there somewhere, moving towards the sort of golden yellow a little bit. It's a really beautiful deep yellow. Getting into that golden sort of part of the spectrum, we'd sort of say absolutely gorgeous. The stems have got this waxy hue on them. I can sort of rub that off a little bit. It's got this beautiful glaucous sort of, colouring or hue, and if I rub that with my thumb, I'm changing it from sort of bluey green to more green. So there's a white wax there that's sort of coming off the stems. Again, sort of looks like lichens, but it probably isn't. It's probably just some sort of bark toning and some what they call pruniose, some pruniose sort of wax there, or sort of resin residue on the stems. When I get to the base of the trunk, it just goes brown. It's just a nice brown colour. But it does have that, I would argue, it's got that parvipinnular feature, that parvipinnular falcifolia feature of the sort of waxy glaucous colours on the... No pods again, folks. It's just the wrong time. It'll probably have pods on it in about a month. But the pods are 20 centimetres long. They're 20 centimetres long by about 2 centimetres wide, or I think I read, about 15 to 20 centimetres. So that's a pretty long pod, 15 to 20 centimetres and about 20 mil wide, or 2 centimetres wide. So it's a pretty long, genuine pod if you're going to get one up to 15 centimetres long. So that's spectabilis. It's a beautiful, beautiful wattle. You can see them on the sides of the road. They're often growing in gravelly soils or dry sclerophyll woodland. They say they hang out in colichous woodland. So this site here, it's a bit of an upper, more rocky, sort of ridgy vegetation in a way. We've got a lot of sort of rocky outcrop, and there's just a hill up there where you can go up onto a rocky rise. So it's more of a shrubby woodland than a grassy woodland, and it's sort of where spectabilis likes to hang out. One thing they talk about on Wattle Web too, they talk about the new growth just throwing a variety of colours. Sometimes the new growth can have purple tones. I can't really see it on this one, but there's a bit of description on Wattle Web that the new growth can be purple or even white or even yellowy sort of looking. So it's got a bit of variation in how it puts out the new growth. But just look out for this one. I reckon it's a nice, easy one to learn, as long as you don't confuse it with polybotria. And again, you'll have to zoom in on those juggery glands or lack of.